Have you ever noticed that climbing stairs isn't quite as easy as it used to be? Or that every time you get up from a chair, your legs feel a little slower, a little less energized? If you're over 50, that's completely normal. But just because it's normal doesn't mean you have to accept slowing down. In fact, this is the perfect time to take action to keep your legs strong, stay independent, and live actively through the golden years ahead. Your legs don't just help you move. They are the foundation of your freedom. They allow you to take morning walks in the park, tend your garden, take your grandkids out, or simply stand confidently to make your favorite breakfast each day. Strong legs can make the difference between living independently or relying on someone else. And here's the good news. You don't need an athlete's training plan. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on fancy fitness equipment. All it takes is a few simple steps and consistency every day. The challenge is after age 50, the body starts to change quietly. Muscle mass declines, bone density weakens, and balance becomes harder to maintain. All of that makes your legs gradually lose strength, even if you don't notice it right away. But instead of letting it continue, you can make a different choice. You can hold on to your strength by understanding what's behind leg weakness and using the right strategies. We're here to walk that journey with you. In this article, you'll discover 10 common reasons why your legs may feel weaker after age 50, from muscle loss and poor nutrition to everyday habits like sitting too much. The best part is, each cause comes with a clear, simple, and doable solution. No one is asking you to run 5 miles a day. But if you can start with a 10-minute walk around the house each morning, or get a little vitamin D from the morning sun, or adjust your meals to better support your muscles, that's already a big step forward. And each small step you take is a powerful reminder that you can still live strong, stay active, and feel truly alive. So before we begin, ask yourself, what do you want your legs to feel like 5 years from now? Stable? Flexible, or held back by daily pain and limitation? The choice is yours. If you're ready to take control of your leg strength and your freedom, let's dive into each cause and each solution together, right now. And if you find this article helpful, don't hesitate to share it with friends or loved ones your age, because a strong community starts with strong legs. 1. Age-related muscle loss, the silent enemy of leg strength. Starting as early as your 30s, your body begins to lose a small amount of muscle each year. And once you reach your 60s, that process speeds up. This is known by health experts as sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle due to aging. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't cause immediate pain, but it deeply affects your quality of life over time. Sarcopenia reduces the size and number of muscle fibers. Your body loses the strength needed for stable balance. It loses the flexibility to stand up or sit down with ease. And more importantly, the confidence you feel when walking begins to fade. This condition doesn't just weaken your legs. It also increases your risk of falling, slows down your recovery, and can lead to losing your independence. But here's the good news. Muscle loss is not something you have to accept. You can slow it down or even reverse it. The first solution: do regular resistance training. Resistance exercises don't have to be complicated. Just 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes each time. You can use resistance bands, light dumbbells around 3 to 8 pounds, or simply your own body weight. For example, chair-supported squats, standing up and sitting down without using your hands, slow leg lifts while standing. Each small movement helps wake up your sleeping muscles. Consistent exercise helps maintain strength, flexibility, and stability in your legs. The second solution: eat enough protein every day. Muscles can't rebuild without the right materials. And the most essential material is protein. Adults over 60 should aim for about 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means For someone who weighs 150 pounds, about 68 kilograms, the goal is 68 to 82 grams of protein each day. Healthy sources of protein include eggs, skinless chicken, salmon, lentils and soybeans, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. A 3-ounce serving of chicken about the size of your palm gives around 25 grams of protein. 1 cup of milk, 8 ounces, provides about 8 grams. Spreading your protein intake throughout the day instead of having it all at once helps your body absorb and use it more efficiently. Also, don't forget to add vitamin D and omega-3s to support your muscle health. They reduce inflammation, enhance recovery, and help your body absorb nutrients more effectively. Quick conclusion: age-related muscle loss is not a life sentence. It's a signal, a call to action. With every resistance workout, with every protein-rich meal, you are building stronger legs not just for today, but for the years to come. 2. Peripheral nerve damage, the silent force that weakens your legs. Have you ever felt like your legs are falling asleep? A tingling sensation, like tiny pins pricking your skin? Or maybe your legs feel unusually weak, hard to control when walking? These could be signs of peripheral neuropathy, a condition that affects the nerves outside the brain and spinal cord. This is especially common in older adults, and even more so in people living with diabetes or a vitamin B12 deficiency. When peripheral nerves are damaged, the signals from your brain to your legs get disrupted. The result is distorted sensations, weakness in the legs, loss of balance, and a higher risk of falling. In some cases, it may feel like you're walking on sand, or like your feet are tightly wrapped even though you're not wearing anything. These are not just uncomfortable sensations. They are warning signs that your nervous system needs attention. The most common cause: type 2 diabetes. When blood sugar stays too high for too long, the tiny blood vessels that feed your nerves begin to break down. The nerves in your feet and lower legs are usually affected first. In the United States, up to 50% of people who've had diabetes for many years will experience some form of peripheral neuropathy. Another important cause: vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining the protective coating around your nerves. When your body doesn't get enough B12, this coating wears down, leaving the nerves exposed and more vulnerable to damage. Adults over 60, especially those who follow a strict vegetarian diet or have digestive issues like gastritis or Crohn's disease, are at higher risk of B12 deficiency. The symptoms may start off subtle: mild numbness in the hands or feet, trouble sensing temperature changes, balance issues when walking on uneven surfaces. If left untreated, nerve damage can become permanent. So how do you prevent it? First and foremost, manage your blood sugar seriously. If you have diabetes, aim to keep your A1C level below 7%, as recommended by the American Diabetes Association. This helps slow the progression of nerve damage and improves long-term quality of life. Next, make sure you're getting enough vitamin B12 every day. Adults should get at least 2.4 micrograms of B12 daily. Good sources include lean beef, chicken liver, tuna and salmon, eggs, milk and dairy products, fortified breakfast cereals. A 3-ounce serving of lean beef can give you about 2 micrograms of B12, nearly your full daily requirement. If your diet isn't enough, talk to your doctor about taking B12 supplements or receiving regular injections. In addition, gentle activities like walking for 20 minutes a day, practicing yoga, or doing balance exercises can help strengthen your nerves and support coordination. In short, peripheral neuropathy is not rare, but with early detection and proper care, you can restore strength to your legs, regain confidence with every step, and continue living an active, safe, and independent life. 3. Peripheral artery disease, when your legs are starving for oxygen. Have you ever felt like your legs were heavy as lead when walking? Each step feels more like a burden than a movement. Sometimes you may need to stop mid-walk just to rest and let the pain ease. If that sounds familiar, you might be dealing with peripheral artery disease, also known as PAD. PAD occurs when the arteries that carry oxygen-rich blood to your legs become narrowed or blocked. The main cause is atherosclerosis, the buildup of fat, cholesterol, and calcium on the artery walls over time. The result? Your legs aren't getting enough oxygen when they're in motion. It's like trying to run with lungs that can't breathe. A common symptom is claudication pain, cramping, or tightness in the calf muscles during walking that goes away when you rest. Some people describe it as sudden muscle fatigue or a gripping pain after just a few steps. As PAD progresses, you may start to feel pain even while resting, especially at night. One leg may feel colder than the other, skin might look pale, toenails grow more slowly, and hair on the legs may thin out. In severe cases, PAD can lead to foot ulcers, infections, and in extreme situations, tissue death if not treated properly. Who is at higher risk? People who smoke or have smoked in the past. People with type 2 diabetes. People with high blood pressure. People with high LDL cholesterol. Adults over the age of 65. According to the CDC, more than 6.5 million people over age 40 in the United States are living with PAD, and many don't even know it. What can you do to improve your condition? First, stop smoking. If you still smoke, this is the single most dangerous habit that worsens PAD. Nicotine constricts blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and accelerates plaque buildup. Second, begin controlled walking therapy. It may sound ironic walking when walking itself causes pain, but in fact, this method has strong clinical support. It's called supervised walking therapy. You walk until you feel mild pain, rest until it eases, then continue walking. Repeat this cycle several times during each session, at least 3 times a week. The goal is to gradually increase how far you can walk without pain. Studies show that after just 12 weeks, many PAD patients can double their pain-free walking distance. Third, control your blood pressure and cholesterol. Make sure your blood pressure stays below 130/80 millimeters of mercury. Keep LDL cholesterol as low as possible, ideally under 100 milligrams per deciliter, or under 70 if you're at high risk. A Mediterranean-style diet rich in leafy greens, salmon, olive oil, and nuts can greatly support your artery health. If needed, your doctor may prescribe statins or low-dose aspirin to help prevent more serious complications. Quick conclusion: PAD isn't just tired legs from old age. It's your circulatory system sending out a warning that blood flow is being blocked. But here's the good news. With small lifestyle changes and proper medical care, you can manage PAD and bring strength and vitality back to every step you take. 4. Vitamin D deficiency, a small light with a big impact. Did you know that just one small nutrient can make a big difference in how strong your legs feel? That nutrient is vitamin D. While it's often known for supporting bone health, vitamin D also plays a critical role in muscle strength, balance, and fall prevention, especially in adults over 60. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Aging skin makes less of it. The kidneys become less effective at converting it to its active form. And if you live in areas with long winters or avoid sun exposure to protect your skin, your risk of deficiency increases even more. Vitamin D deficiency doesn't show immediate, obvious symptoms. But over time, you might start to notice weaker muscles, more difficulty standing up and sitting down, easier loss of balance when walking on uneven ground. Some people describe the feeling as if their legs can't hold them up while walking. And here's the concern: vitamin D deficiency is directly linked to a higher risk of falls, which is one of the leading causes of hip fractures in older adults in the United States. So how much vitamin D do you need each day? According to the U.S. Institute of Medicine, Adults aged 51 to 70 should get 600 IU per day. Adults over 70 should aim for 800 IU per day. However, many geriatric experts recommend higher levels around 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, depending on your blood levels and personal health. What are the most accessible sources of vitamin D? Sunlight: just 10 to 15 minutes of morning exposure between 9 o'clock and 10:30 a.m., at least 3 times a week. Vitamin D-rich foods, such as fatty fish like salmon: 1 3-ounce serving gives around 450 IU. Mackerel, sardines, and canned tuna. Eggs: 1 egg contains about 40 IU. Fortified milk: 1 8-ounce glass provides about 100 IU. Fortified breakfast cereals. A breakfast of fortified cereal and a glass of milk can give you between 150 and 300 IU, a solid start to your day. What if you don't eat fish? Consider taking a vitamin D supplement. In the US, it's easy to find vitamin D3 tablets with 1,000 or 2,000 IU per dose, costing only $5 to $15 for a bottle that lasts several months. Gummy versions are also popular and easy to take. But don't take high doses for a long time without guidance. Too much vitamin D over 4,000 IU per day can cause side effects like nausea, insomnia, or high calcium levels in the blood. That's why it's best to get a blood test now and then to check your 25-hydroxyvitamin D level. The ideal range is between 30 and 50 nanograms per milliliter for optimal bone and muscle health. In short, vitamin D may be small, but its role is huge when it comes to balance, muscle strength, and safe movement. Whether it's from gentle morning sunlight, a delicious plate of salmon, or a simple daily supplement, you have many ways to make sure your legs stay strong right from the ground up. 5. Sedentary lifestyle: use it or lose it. The saying "use it or lose it" has never been more true than when it comes to leg strength in middle age and beyond. When you move less, your body doesn't just rest. It actually begins to decline. And sadly, this happens quietly, day by day. Muscles, especially leg muscles, need regular activation to stay strong. Without it, the muscle fibers shrink and overall muscle mass decreases. The nervous system, the wiring behind your movements, also slows down and becomes less responsive. As a result, you may notice leg fatigue after standing for a while, difficulty balancing when turning or going downstairs, slower walking speed, and most importantly, a higher risk of falling. Sitting for long periods, whether watching TV, working, or scrolling on your phone, puts your body into a long-term hibernation mode. In just 1 week of inactivity, older adults can start losing between half a pound to 1 pound of muscle, mostly from the legs. Why does this matter? Muscle loss affects more than your walking posture. It makes recovery from injuries harder and slows healing after a hip or ankle fracture. Here's the good news. You don't need a gym or expensive equipment to get moving. Just a few consistent changes in your daily routine can make a real difference. Here are some recommended activities for older adults in the United States. Walking. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes a day. Break it into 2 or 3 sessions if needed. You can walk around your neighborhood, in the park, or even inside a shopping mall on bad weather days. Swimming. A joint-friendly activity, especially helpful if you have arthritis. A 30-minute swim can burn 150 to 250 calories and activate almost all major muscle groups. Tai Chi. This moving meditation has been shown in many US studies to improve balance and mental clarity. Practice it 2 to 3 times per week for about 30 minutes each session. Many community centers in states like California, Texas, and Florida offer free classes for seniors. Light gardening or housework. Everyday tasks like watering plants, folding laundry, or wiping down kitchen counters also engage your leg muscles and keep your body moving. So how do you start if you've been sitting for too long? Begin with the smallest steps. Set a timer to stand and stretch your legs for 2 minutes every 30 minutes. Walk around the room while talking on the phone instead of sitting. During TV commercials, stand up and take a few gentle steps. After a few weeks, you'll find walking easier. Standing up from a chair will take less effort. And your legs, once sluggish, will feel more like steady, dependable companions again. In summary, your muscles don't need athlete-level training, but they do need regular use to stay strong. If you let your legs retire too early, they just might stop working altogether. But if you give them just 20 minutes a day, they'll repay you with something priceless: the freedom to move, live, and enjoy life on your terms. 6. Osteoarthritis when the cushion of youth wears down. Have you ever heard a soft grinding sound in your knee when standing up? Or felt like your knees or hips are stiff in the morning, needing a few minutes before they move smoothly? These could be signs of osteoarthritis, also known by its medical abbreviation, OA. Osteoarthritis is the most common form of arthritis in the United States, affecting over 32 million adults. After the age of 50, the risk of OA, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees, hips, and ankles, increases rapidly. Osteoarthritis happens when the cartilage that cushions your joints wears away over time. That cartilage used to act like shock absorbers, helping you move without pain. But when it thins out or disappears, bones begin to rub against each other with every step. The result is a dull, aching pain, joint stiffness after sleeping or sitting too long, limited range of motion when bending the knees or rotating the hips, mild swelling around the joint. Unlike autoimmune arthritis, OA doesn't flare up suddenly. It progresses slowly, day by day, and because of that, many people only notice it when it's already advanced. Risk factors include age over 50, excess weight, a BMI over 30, past joint injuries like dislocations or fractures, family history, jobs or habits that put repeated stress on the joints. So what can you do to manage osteoarthritis and keep your legs moving with ease? 1. Choose the right exercises with proper technique and intensity. Many people avoid exercise, thinking it will make the joints worse. But the opposite is true. The right type of movement is one of the safest and most effective ways to slow the progress of OA. Great options for people with osteoarthritis include stationary cycling. It avoids pounding pressure on the joints. Swimming or aquatic therapy. Water supports your body and eases joint strain. Tai Chi and gentle yoga. They improve balance, flexibility, and muscle softness. Strength training around the joint, such as supported squats, light leg presses, or resistance band exercises. The key is to warm up well, avoid sharp pain during activity, and build intensity gradually. 2. Maintain a healthy weight. Relieve pressure on your joints. Every extra pound on your body can add nearly 4 pounds of pressure on your knees with each step. So losing just 10 pounds can take off nearly 40 pounds of pressure per step. That makes a huge difference for anyone living with joint pain daily. 3. Consider medical treatments when needed. If lifestyle changes aren't enough, there are other options to explore. Over-the-counter NSAIDs like ibuprofen or naproxen for mild inflammation. Corticosteroid injections if swelling and pain persist. Joint supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin helpful for some people. In severe cases, knee or hip replacement surgery can restore mobility and quality of life. The cost of joint replacement surgery in the U.S. ranges from $20,000 to $35,000, depending on insurance and hospital. But many people regain their ability to walk and live independently just months after surgery. In summary, osteoarthritis is a natural part of aging, but it doesn't mean the end of an active life. With healthy weight management, smart movement choices, and timely medical care, you can keep your joints smooth, strong, and moving freely step by step, day by day. 7. Muscle weakness from medication. Side effects when treatment quietly weakens your legs. You take your medication every day. for your heart, for your blood pressure, for your cholesterol. You follow the doctor's orders. But still your legs feel weaker, and you're not sure why. If your legs tire more easily, if it's harder to stand for long periods, or if walking feels unsteady since starting a new medication, pay attention. This may be a sign of medication-induced myopathy, muscle weakness caused by certain drugs. This condition often comes on quietly and is easy to overlook. Patients and even doctors sometimes mistake it for normal aging or lack of activity. But in reality, several common medications can directly affect muscle health, especially in the lower body. What kinds of medications most often cause muscle weakness? 1. Statins, cholesterol-lowering drugs. These are among the most widely prescribed medications in the U.S. to lower LDL cholesterol and prevent heart disease. Common names include atorvastatin Lipitor, simvastatin Zocor, and rosuvastatin Crestor. While effective, statins can cause unwanted side effects in about 5 to 10% of users. Mild to moderate muscle aches, a sensation of heaviness or looseness in the muscles, unexplained fatigue during physical activity. In rare cases less than 0.1%, statins may cause severe muscle inflammation leading to muscle breakdown, rhabdomyolysis, which requires emergency care. 2. Corticosteroids. Long-term use of medications like prednisone can lead to muscle wasting, especially in the thighs and hips. You may find it difficult to get out of a chair or climb stairs. 3. Certain chemotherapy drugs, antiviral medications, or thyroid treatments. Although less common, these drugs can also affect muscle function, especially when used over long periods. How can you detect and manage this early? If you notice unusual leg fatigue, loss of stamina during short walks, shaky or unsteady muscles after standing, write down when the symptoms began and compare it to your medication timeline. Then, speak directly with your doctor or pharmacist. Do not stop taking your medication on your own. Each prescription serves an important purpose. Your doctor may adjust the dosage, for example, reduce from 40 milligrams to 20 milligrams per day. Switch to another drug in the same class with fewer side effects. Order a blood test to check your muscle enzymes CK creatine kinase if muscle damage is suspected. What can you do to support your muscles while continuing your medication? 1. Eat enough protein daily. Older adults need about 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means if you weigh 150 pounds, about 68 kilograms, you need between 68 and 82 grams of protein daily. 2. Consider coenzyme Q10 if you're on statins. Some studies show that CoQ10, a natural antioxidant, may help reduce statin-related muscle pain. A typical dose is 100 to 200 milligrams per day. The cost ranges from $15 to $30 per month at pharmacies or online. 3. Do gentle, regular exercise. Activities like walking, heel raises, or slow cycling can improve circulation and preserve muscle mass. Just 20 minutes a day done consistently can make a meaningful difference. In summary, medications aren't always the cause. But sometimes, the very drugs that help you live better may bring along unexpected side effects. Staying alert, paying attention to your body, and having open conversations with your doctor is the best way to make sure your legs remain strong, steady, and safe throughout your treatment journey. 8. Osteoporosis and fractures. When your silent structure becomes fragile, you may not see it. You may not feel it every day. But quietly, your skeleton is changing with age. After age 50, bone density begins to decline naturally. In postmenopausal women, this process accelerates due to a drop in estrogen, a key hormone that helps maintain bone strength. And if not detected or addressed early, it can lead to a serious yet common condition: osteoporosis. What is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis is when your bones become porous, thin, weak, and more prone to fractures even from a minor trip, slip, or strong cough. You won't feel pain until a fracture happens. And when it does, the consequences can be serious. According to the CDC, about 300,000 older adults in the U.S. suffer a hip fracture each year. Nearly 20% of them never regain full mobility. Many end up in nursing homes after just one fall. What bones are most commonly fractured? The hip often requires surgery and a long recovery. The wrist usually happens when trying to catch yourself during a fall. The spine-silent fractures can lead to chronic back pain or height loss. You don't need a major accident to break a bone. Sometimes it's just sitting down too hard, slipping in the shower, or twisting your torso the wrong way. Who is more likely to develop osteoporosis? Postmenopausal women, typically after age 50. People with low body weight, a BMI under 19. Those with a family history of hip fractures. People who smoke, drink heavily, or consume too much caffeine. Long-term corticosteroid users. Those with poor absorption of vitamin D or calcium. What can you do to strengthen your bones? 1. Get enough calcium and vitamin D every day. Calcium adults over 50 need about 1,200 milligrams per day. 1 8-ounce glass of milk provides around 300 milligrams. Also found in yogurt, cheese, and dark leafy greens. Vitamin D about 800 to 1,000 IU per day. Get it from early morning sunlight. Fatty fish like salmon or mackerel. Fortified cereals or vitamin D-enriched milk. If your diet isn't enough, consider calcium plus D3 supplements available for $10 to $20 per bottle. Good for a month's use. 2. Do weight-bearing and resistance exercises. Bones like muscles need regular stress to stay strong. Recommended activities include brisk walking for 30 minutes a day, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, lifting light weights or using resistance bands 2 to 3 times per week. You don't need heavy lifting, consistency matters more. Impact from your feet to the ground stimulates bone growth. 3. Get regular osteoporosis screening. You should get a bone density scan DEXA after age 65 or earlier if you have risk factors. This test is painless, takes about 15 minutes, and may be covered by Medicare if you qualify. If diagnosed with osteoporosis, your doctor may prescribe medications like bisphosphonates Fosamax, Boniva, or newer options like Prolia. These can reduce fracture risk by up to 50% within 1 to 2 years. In summary, osteoporosis isn't someone else's problem. It's a very real process that may already be happening inside your body. But if you take proactive steps with proper nutrition, smart exercise, and timely bone checks, you can protect your frame and keep yourself steady with every step you take each day. 9. Obesity and muscle loss. With obesity, when body weight becomes a burden on your legs. Have you ever felt like your legs are carrying the full weight of your body with every step? Not because you're not active, but because excess body weight is placing too much pressure on your muscles, bones, and joints. For people over 50, obesity isn't just about weight or appearance. It's a silent but powerful factor that weakens your legs day by day. Even more concerning is a condition especially risky for older adults called sarcopenic obesity. How does obesity affect your legs? Even a healthy body puts pressure on the legs with every step. But with extra weight, that pressure multiplies. For example, if you're 20 pounds overweight, your knees absorb an extra 60 to 80 pounds of force with each step. The knees, hips, and ankles, your major weight-bearing joints, wear out faster. Cartilage gets worn down. Your leg muscles have to work twice as hard to keep you balanced. The result? Heavy, tired legs and a steady loss of stamina. What is sarcopenic obesity? It's when body fat increases while muscle mass decreases. Instead of being big and strong, you become big and weak. Fat builds up around your organs and within muscle tissue, making your muscles less effective. You might appear full on the outside, but inside you're losing strength. And when muscles weaken, even simple tasks like standing up, climbing stairs, or staying balanced become harder. Sarcopenic obesity creates a dangerous cycle. Extra weight makes you avoid movement. Lack of movement leads to more muscle loss. Less muscle means more fatigue. Fatigue leads to even less activity. So how do you break the cycle? 1. Make smart, lasting changes to your diet. Instead of extreme diets, aim for balanced, sustainable eating. Cut back on fried foods and oils, refined sugar and soft drinks, processed meats like sausage and deli slices. Increase green vegetables and low-sugar fruits like berries and apples. Lean proteins such as chicken breast, salmon, and eggs. Healthy fats from almonds and chia seeds. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice. Aim to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. This is a safe and lasting pace. Even a 5 to 10% drop in body weight can significantly reduce joint pressure and improve leg function. 2. Combine cardio with strength training. To burn fat and build muscle, you need both. Gentle cardio, brisk walking, stationary cycling, or swimming at least 150 minutes per week. Strength training 2 to 3 sessions per week targeting key muscle groups like thighs, glutes, and calves. Use resistance bands. Practice sit to stand exercises using a chair. Do standing heel raises. Start with 10 to 12 repetitions per movement, with short breaks in between. What matters most is staying consistent and not giving up. In summary, obesity, especially when paired with muscle loss, doesn't just slow you down. Quietly eats away at your leg strength. But with patience, healthy habits, and a better understanding of your body, you can reclaim your mobility and help your legs stay strong, even as the years continue to pass. 10. Stroke when a single moment changes your entire walk through life. Starts like any ordinary morning. You try to get out of bed, but your body doesn't respond the way it used to. One leg feels almost impossible to control. Everything slows down, blurs, becomes confused. That's how a stroke can arrive. Sudden, fast, and it leaves a lasting mark, especially on your ability to walk. How does stroke affect your mobility? When part of the brain loses its blood supply, brain cells begin to die within minutes. If the affected area controls movement, you may lose the ability to command your leg muscles, usually on one side of the body. This can lead to weakness or paralysis in one leg, loss of balance while standing, difficulty lifting your leg or walking, frequent falls even just around the house. Some stroke survivors also experience spasticity, muscle stiffness that causes uneven steps or a dragging leg. Statistics in the United States show over 795,000 Americans experience a stroke each year. Nearly 87% are ischemic strokes caused by blocked blood flow in the brain. Around 50% of stroke survivors have mobility impairments, which means their legs no longer move as they once did. They must relearn how to stand, how to step, how to balance. How can you regain strength in your legs after a stroke? 1. Physical therapy. This is the foundation of stroke recovery. Trained specialists guide you through exercises that include stretching muscles to reduce stiffness, practicing sit-to-stand transitions, walking on different surfaces to rebuild balance, taking small supported steps with aids like walkers or canes. Many patients regain independent walking within 6 to 12 weeks of intensive therapy, depending on the initial damage. 2. Gait training. Learning to walk again isn't just about movement. It's about re-coordinating the brain, muscles, and joints. Support tools may be needed such as canes, crutches, walkers, or even orthotic leg braces. In the U.S., Medicare may partially cover rehabilitation services with a doctor's referral. 3. Daily home exercises. Outside of clinical therapy, daily movement is crucial. Even simple actions like seated leg lifts, ankle circles, standing heel raises while holding a table, all help maintain the connection between the brain and muscles, preventing another stroke a step you cannot skip. Stroke survivors are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience a second stroke within the next 5 years. That's why prevention is essential. Control your blood pressure. Aim to keep it under 130/80. Lower your LDL cholesterol, ideally under 100 milligrams per deciliter, or even lower if you have heart disease. Manage blood sugar, especially if you have diabetes. Quit smoking entirely. Maintain a healthy weight with a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9. Follow the DASH diet, rich in vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, and low in salt and saturated fats. In summary, a stroke can take away your mobility in just a matter of minutes. But with the right recovery plan, steady determination, and full body care, your legs can walk again, maybe slower, but stronger, and most importantly, still moving forward. Conclusion: small steps today, big strength tomorrow. Aging is something none of us can avoid, but how we move through the years, that's our choice. If you've read this far, you probably realize weak legs aren't something that's just meant to happen. They're a sign that it's time to take action. The 10 reasons your legs may weaken after 50, from muscle loss and vitamin D deficiency to inactivity or stroke recovery, are not simple issues. But the good news is this: each of these problems can be improved with practical, low-cost solutions. No fancy technology required. No expensive treatments. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just choose 1 or 2 small actions to begin with, and you've already started the journey. For example, today you might try taking a 10-minute walk after dinner, adding a boiled egg to your breakfast to boost protein, standing up from a chair without using your hands 5 times each morning. Tomorrow you can do a little more, and a little more the day after that, because true strength doesn't come from a sudden burst. It comes from steady, consistent steps over time. Remember this: every body is different. What works for someone else may need adjusting to fit your needs. Talk with your doctor regularly to check your blood pressure, bone density, vitamin D levels, or even muscle function if needed. Many senior care programs in the US, including Medicare, help cover the cost of these important checkups. Let a healthcare professional help you build a personalized plan based on your age, gender, medical history, and goals. The right strategy at the right time can help you keep your legs strong and your life independent and free, just as it should be. And if you found this guide helpful, don't hesitate to share it with someone you care about: a friend, a sibling, a neighbor in their 50s or 60s. Your simple act of sharing might give someone the hope they need to begin caring for their legs and reclaim their strength. You can also follow Health 365 or any trusted health channel you enjoy, so you won't miss future tips on healthy aging, nutrition, movement, and staying positive after 50. Because health isn't a destination. Health is a journey, and strong legs are your most loyal companion on that journey.